All right, project 3, working effectively in a business environment. This tutorial video is prepared to look at task 4, uniform costing. Task 4, uniform costing. So we'll go through in detail. We're going to go through in detail what you have to do for task 4 and then actually begin to create the uniform costing spreadsheet. I'll just scroll down now. Okay, so task 3 was all about creating the uniform design proposal, and we've gone through in detail the putting together of that proposal. Okay, task 4 follows on after that, and you need to prepare a uniform costing spreadsheet or a breakdown of the costs and how much it would cost to actually put together or build the uniform. Okay, congratulations, your uniform design proposal was accepted. The next step is to prepare a uniform costing using a spreadsheet. Your total uniform budget was $3,500. This budget was broken down into an allocation for each uniform item. After contacting a number of suppliers, you have determined that the cheapest supplier for the best quality is Corporate Apparel for the uniforms and workwear clothing for the logo embroidering on the uniforms. This data is provided in the table below, or in the below table. Okay, so uniform costings. So how much each item will cost. Okay, how much each item or basic items will cost is listed there. Okay, if there's any other items that you do have as part of your uniform that are not listed here, okay, we can discuss how to actually put these together. You'll notice that your original budget of $3,500, there is each item. Okay, there's each item's costing, and then you can see that there's a number there for each of those. From that, you can actually work out how many you're supposed to have. So we'll go through that. Prepare a uniform costing spreadsheet based on the information provided above, as well as the instructions that follow. So before, I'm not going to read through all of these now because we will need to address these one by one as we go through and actually create the spreadsheet. Okay, so we'll need to do each of these individually, okay, as we go through and create our spreadsheet. All right. Save as spreadsheet, uniform costing, your initial in your certificate 1 in business project 3 folder, and then you submit to Blackboard. All right. Nice and simple. So basically we're creating another spreadsheet. Your design proposal was accepted. Congratulations. From here we need to figure out how much it's going to cost us to design or to have these uniforms put in place for staff. So basically we're going to start off with this spreadsheet or with this table here. This is the basis for our uniform costings spreadsheet. So we'll start with this one and then follow the instructions that are detailed below. So let's start off by just simply copying and pasting these items, into a blank spreadsheet. So I'm just going to copy these, go copy, and in my blank spreadsheet, and into my blank spreadsheet, I'll just paste and increase the size of each column. Now that was rather basic. It's very, very basic, and you can see that it doesn't look very good at the moment, and it's missing. It doesn't have the same style as per our style guide. So I'm just going to start off by actually getting rid of all of the formatting that's on these cells. Easy way to do that is to pick a cell with no formatting, select the format painter, and then just paint across all of this. Okay, just going to get it back to scratch. All right, back to absolutely no formatting whatsoever. I'll just fix these rows up. Okay, nice and simple like that. Okay, everything's nice and even. Can delete that row, and all of our information is as per the folio. Okay, so if you go back to the folio, you can see that all of this information was right here, and all I've done is copy and paste it into my blank Excel spreadsheet. All right. We'll now go back to the formatting document, the folio document, and begin to follow the instructions. So first instruction there, create the spreadsheet in accordance with the style guide extract for spreadsheets. Use help functions as required. So we've got the style guide open. Okay, we've got the style guide open and ready to use. I'm not going to use it just yet, but I will cross that out because we do know we have got that there ready to go. All right, next point. Insert a column after unit cost and set up the column heading as quantity. Under this column heading, determine the number of staff to receive each uniform item using the organizational chart for the head office. So after unit cost, we need a new heading called quantity. So after unit cost, I'm going to insert a new column here. Insert. And it's going to be called quantity. Easy way to get our spelling right, guys, is just to simply copy and paste into the cell. All right, from there, it says determine the number of staff to receive each uniform item using the organizational chart for head office. So from here we need to go through and count up how many men and how many women. So how many men and how many women are actually in Australian Hardware. So from here I'm gonna do my own tally. You can go through and undertake your own tally. You can go ahead and complete your own tally. Make sure you're using as per the folio. It says the organizational chart for head office. Okay, it does not say the staff list. Okay, the staff list goes through and has members or has people listed who don't necessarily work in head office. This is a uniform only for head office. Okay, so quickly I'm going to go through and complete my own tally. There will be some instances where we might have some issues like Alex. Okay, where you have Alex and we don't know whether Alex is a boy or a girl. I would say that with the name Alex rather than Alexandra, I would say that Alex would be sounds like a man. Okay, sounds like a man. So going through, and you need to tally up and total how many men and how many women. Okay, exactly how many of each item will we need. So based on my tally and my count, I've counted or I've included 10 males and 10 females. This takes into account the administrative assistants, the admin, like the 2 administrative assistants, and the IT support officer. Also, too, I've also included myself, and you should include yourself and your group members in this tally. So I've got 10 men and 10 women. So as per the folio's instructions, we need to add those now. We need to add those for each item. Note, only shirts will be embroidered with the company logo. Only shirts will be embroidered with the company logo. All right, so going through, we need to add those quantities to our spreadsheet. So women's three-quarter length sleeve shirt, we're going to have 10. Oh, where did the word quantity go? So we're going to have 10 of them. Women's skirts, we're going to have 10 of them. Women's long sleeve shirt, we're going to have 10 of them. Women's pants, we're going to have 10 of them. Men's 10, 10, and 10. And the logo is going to be embroidered. The logo is going to be embroidered on only shirts. So the logo embroidery, we can add that up. I'm going to use a sum function. It's going to be equals this shirt. That's a skirt, long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt. Shirt plus shirt plus shirt plus shirt. 40 shirts in total. All right. So I've gone through, I'm going to get, so for the 10 staff, going to get 10 uniforms. Keep it nice and simple and basic. And then we need to get the logo embroidered on just the shirts. So I'm going to use a formula then to add each of the quantities of the shirts. So shirt, 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 shirt. That way, if in future we get another staff member, okay, you get another staff member, and suddenly you go, oh, okay, well, we need 11 here, we need 11 here, we need 11 here, and we need 11 here. Notice that this automatically changes, okay, automatically changes. All right, so that's the benefit of using the formula. But I can undo all those changes. From there now, we can cross that out on the folio because we have added those quantity items. So I can cross that one out. Next one, insert a column after quantity and set up the column heading as cost. After quantity, insert, and this is going to be cost. Flicking back. Under the column heading, you need to calculate the cost of each uniform item. To do this, use the formula to multiply the unit cost and quantity for each. You will also need to calculate the total cost using an appropriate formula. So the cost of the item, or the cost to get all those items produced, okay, is going to be the unit cost times the quantity. So to do that, we open up with an equal sign. We start with an equal sign. We select the unit cost. We can put in a star sign. That's the symbol for that is the symbol for multiplication. Okay, you don't put in an X. Notice that as soon as you put in an X, the formula goes away. It is the star symbol times by the quantity. And then we press equals. And that's what the cost is going to be. All right? We can go through and we can do that multiplication. Okay, so unit cost times the quantity gives us our total cost per item. All right? Okay, and then you can go down and do that. A really easy and simple way to do this is actually grab the corner of the box and drag it down. If you grab the corner of the box and drag it down, you'll notice that it takes the formula and it moves it down one. So that's another way to actually pull that, okay, to pull that formula down rather than having to individually write the formula each time. So I'll do that one more time just quickly. So the multiplication formula equals the unit cost times the quantity. Just selecting those cells, you press enter. That will complete your formula. And then if we want to apply this formula down the column, we grab the corner and we drag. All right, now you've got your costs in. We can go back to the folio. We've done the formula to multiply the unit cost and the quantity together. The next thing we need to do, you'll need to calculate the total cost using the appropriate formula. So total cost, that's going to be here at the bottom in this cell here, and this is going to be the sum function. So start off with an equals to begin the formula. So press in the equals to begin the formula, and then I'm going to write the word sum. As you can see there, it pops up and gives us a description. Sum adds all the numbers in a range of cells. So this is all about adding together. To begin that, we write the word sum, open bracket, And notice then that it's indicating to us that we need to select numbers. Okay, we need to add some numbers. We need to select the numbers that we want to add. To do that, we just simply drag over the range being a range of cells. We drag over that range and then close the bracket. That is telling Excel to add everything inside the brackets from E2 to E9. So everything from E2 to E9, Excel will add together because we've used the word sum. Press enter. And notice that it spits out 4,000 and 4,056.5, and that will be, of course, that will be dollars, but we're not quite there yet. We're just doing the formula part. Just noting that based on these quantities that I put in, these were based on my count. Okay, these were based on my count, depending on how many men, how many women. Okay, depending on how many men, how many women. If you are a girl and you are doing this and you included yourself in the count, then there's going to be more women as opposed to men. You might have 11 women and only 9 men. And that's going to change the pricing. Okay? Doesn't matter how much you have in quantity. Doesn't matter how much you have in quantity. All right? You're still going to, the formulas will still be exactly the same. So with that complete, I'll cross out the sum. All right, next one. After insert a column after budget and set up the column heading as surplus/deficit. So adding a column after the column called budget. That's going to be called surplus/deficit. Okay, so that's just a new column being inserted. Under the column heading, you need to calculate whether you have come under or over the budget for each uniform item. To calculate this, use the formula F3 minus E3 to subtract the cost from the budget for each. So we're going to use a minus now, a subtraction formula. So equals the budget, which is F2, minus the cost. Now that's going to tell us whether or not we've gone over or under our budget. Okay, whether we've gone over or under the budget. So I press enter, you'll notice that I get a negative 149.5, which means that I am over. I've gone over my budget. Okay, so again, budget minus the cost, pressing enter, equals budget minus cost equals budget, which is in the F column. So selecting the budget item from the F column, take away the cost, which is in the E column, then pressing enter. Again, this formula can be dragged down to include all items. Now with the quantity of 10, I've actually gone over my budget for every single item. I've gone over my budget for every single item. Okay, depending on your group composition, you might have, you might go under. Just depends. The final thing that it says here, so that's all of those items completed. The final thing it says we need to calculate the total surplus/deficit using our sum formula. So the same formula we used in the cost column we'll now use in the surplus/deficit column. So open up with an equals, sum, open bracket, select all the items in the column above. So making sure not to grab the budget column as well. Okay, don't grab the budget column as well when you're doing this. So don't accidentally select two columns, because it will add everything up from those two columns. Okay, notice then it's completely different. It's an incorrect answer because I've accidentally selected the budget column as well. So make sure that you don't select the budget column. Whoops. It should be the G column. it should be the G column, which is directly above. All right, or you might be, if you've got it a little bit different, it might be a different column, but the formula is still the same. So I can see that I have gone over my budget. I've gone over my budget by $556.50. From there, I can cross out that item. From there, I can cross out that item, and we've completed all of the formulas so far. Our next video, we'll go over how to use the style guide extract and the creation of the chart, which is our very last point. Create a chart showing the cost and budgeted amounts for each uniform item in accordance with the style guide extract. So that will be in our next video.